I'm logged into my Flutterflow application, so let's create an app. I'm going to call it Recipe App, and just create a blank app.
Original strokes.
0 to 1 Flutterflow. Now this is the screen it first gives me, and it's giving me some information on how to create an application. I'm just going to skip through all of this and click Start Building. This is the page we get. Over here we can see our app. We can view it in different screen sizes and in the defaults up here like laptop, iPad, and phone. On this side, we can navigate through different parts of the application. At the top is the widget palette. Widgets are what these things are called, and they're the things that'll compose of your actual application. You have the commonly used elements up here, and then some layout elements, which we'll get into in our unit on responsive design. Under that, we have base elements, which are things like text and image, and you can just drag them on to our page like so. We also have page elements over here and form elements like inputs. I encourage you to play around with it, try it out, but we will get to using all of these different types of elements in this course. On the other side of our page, we see editing capabilities. If I click on the text, we can see that here is where we can change the text. And we can change text similar to the way you would be able to on an editor like Google Docs. You can change the font, make it italicized, change the color, and change the font size, as well as alignment. The next bar over here is our page selector. As we build out our application, we're going to start having some more pages here, and they're going to show up on this side. Here we have the widget tree, so we can see all of the different components. We are going to get very familiar with this, but essentially it's an easy way to navigate to these different components and see where on the page you are. We aren't going to use this storyboard tab in this course because instead we're using Figma for our design, but this tab will show you some of the interactions between different pages in your application. I'm going to skip a couple of these tabs over here. Some of them we are going to get back to, like this Firestore tab and this Styling tab. But a lot of these are outside the scope of this course, like API calls. I'm going to quickly cover the Settings and Integration tab. Over here, you can change some details about your application, like its name, and then also what the URL looks like. I encourage you to play around with this, but we aren't going to focus too much on the things over here. But in the Settings tab, you can edit some things about your project setup, add additional things like authentication, which we will end up doing, and a couple others, and then add integrations such as payment with Stripe or generated content from Gemini. If you don't know what this means, don't worry, this is out of the scope of this course. I covered a lot very briefly in this video, and I just want to reassure you that we're going to go in depth in some of the key things, and you're going to see it in action while we're building this application. So if it seems confusing, don't worry, I got you. In the next video, we're going to tackle this Styles tab to add uniform theme and style to our application.